Still struggling now because after committing over the summer, as Kevin McCarthy just said, to compiling and releasing a list of Supreme Court nominees, Biden is now backtracking yet again, sort of like fracking, sort of like coronavirus, sort of like the travel ban, sort of like everything, indicating he will not release any sort of list before the 2020 election. Joe, why not be transparent? Why not keep your word? Did you forget what you had said? Take a look.
We are putting together a list of a group of African-American women who are qualified and have the experience to be in the court. I am not going to release that until we go further down the line of vetting them as well.
First, putting a judge's name on a list like that could influence that person's decision-making as a judge, and that would be wrong. Second, anyone put on a list like that under these circumstances will be subject to unrelenting political attacks, because any nominee I would select would not get a hearing until 2021 at the earliest.
Now, Speaker, in reality, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez actually revealed the real reason Biden won't release a list, telling the New York Times, quote, "I think it could risk demoralizing and dividing our party." Now, of course, it's just like I've been telling you, Joe Biden doesn't actually believe in anything. He's just a professional politician who's now 47 years morphing into a vessel for the radical left and who is ready, willing, and able to surrender to the radical extreme socialist in his party. Now, here's the president laying it all out in Ohio earlier tonight. Take a look.
They don't want to show the judges because the only ones that he can put in are far left radicals, and if he does something even toward left of center, which would be acceptable, I guess, we have no choice. If he did that, he would lose the left, so he's going to have to put in radicals, so he doesn't want to show who his judges are.
Here with reaction, Fox News contributor, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, also the author of a brand new book, Don't Lie to Me, which goes on sale tomorrow, the host of Justice, Judge Jeanine Democrat. Governor Huckabee, they want to stack the court and the legislative filibuster, impeach the president, impeach Barr, and there are other arrows in the quiver. That sounds to me, I don't know, where I grew up, like a threat, like, temper tantrum. Sounds to me like abuse of power, the very things they seem to be upset about. They're guilty of.
Sean, I really missed the time when a president put forth a Supreme Court nominee and the people of the other party, unless there was something glaringly wrong with them, they accepted the fact that the people had elected that person president. Republicans routinely went ahead and confirmed the appointments, including Supreme Court appointments, of a Democrat president. We've lost those times, and this started back under Bork. But what we really need to remember is that if anybody threw the match in the gas can, it was Harry Reid in 2013 when he killed the filibuster. Democrats were told then, if you do this, it's going to come back to bite you. Well, I'll just say there's a big old bite out of their backsides tonight because it's coming back to bite them. Thank God this president's got the courage to stand up, do his duty, and not wilt. And I hope that the Republicans in the Senate will stand up and realize that we didn't send them up there to cower down to Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi.
Well, I mean, we have two Republicans, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, but this is not new, Judge Pirro. 29 times in election years, presidents have made their Supreme Court appointments, as is their constitutional duty, as represented by an oath and a pledge that they took.
Right.
In election years.
Right. And I have the Constitution. Look, I have the Constitution. You're right. Article 2, Section 2. The president shall, with the advice and consent of the Senate, appoint a justice to the Supreme Court. Now, look, here's the bottom line. The truth is, it came out of Andrea Ocasio-Cortez's mouth, although I'm not so sure you can always rely on it being the truth. But she said it's less about motivating our people behind an individual judge as it is about making sure that we we protect the vacancy for the new president. That means she recognizes if they even name one judge, forget 21, that they're going to divide the party. She said it herself. And she's convinced that they will have a new president. What makes her so sure? This president is just finishing up his first term. He can make another term. And what they're doing is they're playing a game, a very serious game, that will inure to the American people's detriment. And that is the threats. They threatened us through the protesting, the violent protesting. They threatened the president through the impeachment and trying to drag him down every day. And now they're threatening the American people. Joe Biden hasn't issued a list that he said he was working on at the end of June because he hasn't gotten a list from them yet. And they told him, you can't do this now. It will risk the presidency. It's time to move forward. This president will, and so will Mitch.
Okay, every justice that is on circuit court usually thinks they have a chance of being on the Supreme Court at some point or another. You know, in 19 of the 29 times in election years presidents have appointed a justice in the election year, Governor, 19 times, 17 of the 19, when it's the same party, they were approved. Only one, and then two after the election when the same party took over. Only 1 out of 10 did they have the opposition party go along with a sitting president from another party. So this has all happened before, and to me, to hear the threats are a little bit, well, let's say disconcerting, also further proving the stakes are that high, because this sounds like lawlessness to me.
Well, the amazing thing is that it's not that I am surprised with the Democrats. I am a little disappointed that there's not one decent journalist on most of the mainstream media who will acknowledge that what the president is doing is exactly what Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Bernie Sanders all said in 2016 that a president not just could do, but should do. The one big question in all of this is, will Stacey Abrams have to resign as governor of Georgia in order to be the next Supreme Court justice, should, God forbid, Joe Biden get elected? Because as we know, she's really the governor down there. Isn't that right?
I guess apparently, according to you, I trust every word you say. Last word, Judge.
Well, look, even Justice Ginsburg has said the president doesn't at any point during his term stop being president. That means that he has the right and the obligation to appoint. And you know what, Sean? I'm tired of what people said in the past. This president has a constitutional right and an obligation. The Senate leader has the right to bring it to the Senate. That's the end of the story. All the rest is background noise. Let it go. Let's go forward with this.
All right, Judge, thank you. Mike Huckabee, thank you. And Joe Biden continues to make blunder after blunder when he steps out of his basement bunker. Okay, here's what he said this weekend about COVID. Got his facts a little wrong. Take a look.
It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk.
And today, Biden actually, we talked about, endowed by the thing. Oh, we told you, the thing, God, the creator of everything. Remember that? Now he's struggling. Pay close attention. With the words to our Pledge of Allegiance, he needs help. Take a look.
I don't pledge allegiance to red states of America or blue states of America. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. One nation, indivisible, under God, for real.
Here with reaction, former White House press secretary, Fox News contributor Ari Fleischer. It seems to get worse and worse. I'll let the voters take care of that. I want you to weigh in on that. Clearly cognitive issues, one way or the other. Everybody's telling me they see it. And then the Supreme Court battle and the threats along with it, Ari.
Yeah, I feel terrible about myself because I've been leaving the for real part out of the pledge my entire life. Now, thanks to Joe, I know I need to do better. Sean, this is why the debates are going to be so important, aren't they? In a year which everything is so unusual, where we really have not seen Joe Biden under stress, under pressure, the way we always see presidential candidates, hitting the campaign trail, 3, 4, 5 stops a day. He's not doing any of that. So the American people's first real glimpse of him will be in those debates. It's a big moment for both candidates, but I think a bigger moment for Joe Biden.
I'm watching. It's interesting. The president always points out, and I believe rightly so, Democrats, they never break ranks. Ever. You never see them break ranks. Their justices always turn out to be radical leftists without exception. Republicans, they go with the more moderate, and we have a lot of disappointments. David Souter would be a case in point. I can keep going. We know the names of who become more liberal. Democrats never do that. Now they're making these threats, stacking the court, etc. Your reaction to these specific threats?
Republicans need to wake up. And Sean, this is an issue you and I have talked about many times, and this is one of the reasons that I see Donald Trump in a very different light in 2020 than I did in 2016. He is the one guy who is really leading the fight. I am telling you, any other president would have backed off of Brett Kavanaugh and let him just withdraw the nomination, not Donald Trump. He fought all the way because he thought he put a spine in so many other Republicans. And that is what's happening in this November